What's up, my friends? Welcome to our Alchemy complete set review. Every single card, like obviously all constructed, no limited. And our last section here is going to be the multicolored cards, the colorless cards, and the lands all at once. There's only 7 cards here, so it's not it's a small set. It's a small set. And if you missed anything, we did it all. We covered white, blue, black, red, green. We also covered the set as a whole. My thoughts on the set, both positive and negative. There are positives and negatives. The card design is super cool. Economy is really bad, etc., etc. Covered all that in previous videos. Go watch that if you missed it on YouTube. And now we're in our final section here. And we're going to jump right into our multicolored cards. So first, I want to remind you all, if you're a Twitch subscriber or a YouTube member, you're a pile driver, holiday cards go out really, really soon. You must get me your address to get a holiday card. There's a link to a form in both my Discord as well as the YouTube members page. Please don't miss out if you're a pile driver. I want to get your holiday card, your signed Jim Davis token, your Card Star token, and that. And I'm doing 5 new brews tomorrow. We're doing half of 10 new brews for this set, and it should be a lot of fun. All right? So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all that crap too. Let's go. We got our first card here in Begin Anew. Cute card. Green, white, Wrath of God. So 4 mana Wrath. Destroy all creatures. Creature cards in your hand perpetually get +1/+1. So kind of a cute card in that it could have been like an enchantment that costs green, white, ETB Wrath, Glorious Anthem. But this is utilizing the perpetual mechanic, which is pretty cool. It's only the creatures that are in your hand when you cast this. So kind of a cool card, honestly. Kind of a cool card. But I don't know what deck actively wants this card because if you're like holding back your creatures, you know, then you're kind of like dying on the board. Maybe you're not. It looks kind of obvious. I don't know. It's just a weird Wrath variant. It's kind of cute. Obviously, a green-white Wrath variant is very, very strange. You see blue-white Wrath variants and black-white Wrath variants, but green-white's a little weird, but kind of a cute card. I do like the perpetual mechanic a lot, but I don't think this card's like knocking it out of the park or anything, but it's a powerful card in a deck that can play it. Important to note that if you wanted to be like a Bant control deck and just like abuse this as a Wrath, with pathways in the format, pretty hard casting cost. Pretty hard to cast this card in a non-green-white deck. So be aware of that. But that's one card. Moving on to our next card here is Gitrog, Horror of Zava. So Gitrog monster returns in digital-only form. We have 4 mana for a 6/6 menace. So pretty freaking big. Beginning of each combat, if Gitrog, Horror of whatever is untapped, any opponent may sacrifice a creature. If they do, tap Gitrog, Horror of Zava, then seek a land card and put it on the battlefield tapped. Again, seek is to search from a subset of cards in your library. It'll give you a random land, put it on the battlefield tapped. And then it has whenever a land ETBs, it perpetually gains green, black, tap, sack the land, draw a card. So it makes all of your lands played after Gitrog into Canopy lands, which is pretty awesome. It's a big creature as well. Your opponent has the ability to sacrifice things and tap it, which is kind of cool, but they also get to ramp in that point. Kind of a cool card, but like I'm not sure what deck wants this card. Just some sort of like Golgari value deck, I guess. Being able to sack your lands for value is kind of cool. It's a pretty decent sized creature, but I just have trouble envisioning what deck is like, okay, I gotta go to Gitrog with my finisher. You know, it's what you want to be. So it's cool. It's kind of a cool card, but I don't think it'll see much play just on the back of like not being a particularly great card. Desecration Demon 2.0. Yeah, I mean, creatures are a little better now than they were back then. Yeah, you get to ramp the sacrifice creature, but like they're just going to kill it or ignore it a lot of the time. And you're not going to get much value off of it. And 2 mana sack a land for your lands is fine, but not... It's expensive. It's kind of clunky too. So I just don't see the big picture coming together here. The card just seems kind of, overall... just okay. Next card here is a cool one. Key to the Archive. This card is pretty freaking cool. So Key to the Archive is a 4 mana artifact. It ETB's tapped. When it ETBs, draft a card from the spellbook. What's the spellbook? 15 cards specific to this card. To draft them means you get 3 cards at random. You pick one of them. So, what's in the spellbook? We got some winners here. We got some winners. All Mystical Archive cards. Approach Second Sun. Day of Judgment. Time Warp. Counterspell. Demonic Tutor. Doomblade. Very different than other spellbook cards. Whereas other spellbook cards are full of like draft commons and kind of niche cards. These are just like, woo boy, Lightning Bolt. Claim the Firstborn? I guess, sure. Corrosion Grip. Regrowth. Despark. Electrolyze. Growth Spiral.
Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my god!
And Putrefy. So a lot of really good cards. Some somewhat conditional, Despark, Electrolyze, but very, very good. And then some really powerful cards like Day of Judgment, Approach Second Sun. Obviously really cool. This card ramps into Approach, which is kind of cool. Very, very high potential here. For a card that's like kind of fine. It's just like a Sisei's Ring, right? Where it's a 4-mana vegetation kind of S card. It draws a card. So even if they kill this or whatever, you draw like a Lightning Bolt, something like that. I think this card is really good. Plays very well to Fairy, which is pretty awesome. As far as untapping the artifact. Card is sweet. Card is sweet. A lot of good cards. Don't underestimate how powerful the draft mechanic is. Don't know if there's a way to like flicker this, but like that'd be a really cool thing to do also. Card is sweet. Card is super sweet. Like it a lot. Mechanic's growing on me a lot. Seems super cool. And that's our best in show. Key to the archive. There are only 7 cards in the multicolor and color section. So, but that's that. Moving on to our next card, which is Ominous Traveler. Another spellbook card and another reward here.
It's a trap!
We got our trap card here. We got our trap card here for Ominous Traveler. Let's bring up the old spellbook and see what Ominous Traveler does. 2 mana for a 1/1 human. When it ETBs, draft a card from the spellbook. And that spell gains, you can use an 8 mana to cast it. And whenever you cast the spell, return a creature named Ominous Traveler you control its owner's hand. So it's basically like an Elvish Visionary. And then if you cast the spell you got, you can bounce Traveler back to your hand. Which is cute. But all depends on what's in the spellbook. And what's in the spellbook here is a smattering. It's sort of like the greatest hits of Innistrad. We've got Dominating Vampire, which is a fine card. Vampire Socialite, a fine card, but very, very limited in scope as far as like playing a vampire deck. Blood Chief, another vampire card. Pit Fighter, a card's fine by itself. Wolfkin Outcast, sucks with no werewolves. Piper, sucks with no werewolves. Tolivar, sucks with no werewolves. Patrician Geist, sucks with no spirits. Sifters, sucks with no spirits. Steelclad Spirit, just kind of sucks. Heron Bus Guys, same thing. Archghoul, Champion of the Perished, Headless Rider, and Blade Stitched Scab. So, what the hell is going on with this card? Like, you're going to get a choice of 3 of these cards at random to draft, but what deck wants to put Ominous Traveler into it? Are you playing it in your vampire deck? Thank you, Akbar. I appreciate that. Yes, thank you. Are you putting this in your vampire deck? Are you putting this in your werewolf deck? Like, what if you don't get what you want? And that's a 1/1 for 2, which sucks. And then you can chain value off of it in theory, but like, I just don't know what deck ever wants this card in a million years. This card just sucks. If it was like a changeling, maybe had a little more value, but it's not even like the type. Like if it's a changeling, right? And it's a werewolf and a zombie and a spirit or whatever, sure. But without that, like, I think this card just sucks. Looks really cool, but not about it. That's my trap card, Ominous Traveler. Moving on to Soulstealer Axe. 1 mana for equipment. Creature has trample. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, seek a card with a mana value equal to that damage. So that's a pretty wild spread, because again we see the seek mechanic looking at mana value and trying to determine does my deck have the proper cards in it to actually seek here? So if I put the Soulstealer Axe onto a 5/5 and I attack, hit for 5, do I have a 5-drop in my deck? Do I have more, less, So also the card doesn't actually do anything by itself. It has to deal damage to a player, which it won't always do. Kind of a dud. Be a cool limited card for sure, but paying 3 mana to give a creature trample, and then maybe drawing a card if it happens to hit just seems sketchy against both good blockers and removal spells. So, kind of a dud. Kind of miss. Up next is Wickerwing Effigy. We got a sleeper here, folks. This card's pretty freaking cool. The mana for a 1/4 Defender Scarecrow. Of course, it's colorless. It's an artifact. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. Pretty good. Whenever you cast a creature card from your library, it becomes a black bird in addition to its other colors and types. Has flying, has base power and toughness 1/1. So, clearly a card you want to play with ETB abilities because you get to play things off the top. They're all going to be small, but if you're just like, play cool ETB, play cool ETB, play cool ETB, that's pretty awesome, honestly. And pretty powerful effect because the ability to kind of just like frenzy up top of your deck is awesome. And then a 1/1 flyer is not great, but not the worst, And if you're just kind of like chaining off, casting things, even things like, Voldarian Epicure or whatever, some just cheap random value creature, that's almost an upgrade to turn into a flyer. Also, any creature that has +++ counters on it looks awesome here. So if you have like a, I don't know, whatever, some random like, 0/0 with 2 ++ counters on it, that works for the birds also. So this card's got a lot going on. As far as being able to utilize a lot of different synergies to kind of overcome the downsides here. And it's card advantage. It's a decent body, so it's hard to kill. And you just pop off card advantage, do cool stuff, defend. Card's sweet. I like this card a lot. Death building a deck around this card is super, super awesome. I like it. Just a fun, cool card. And then we come to the end, our last card, and the only land in the set. Forsaken Crossroads. Land. ETB tapped. When it ETBs, choose a color. It taps for that color. When it ETBs, scry 1. And if you didn't go first, you may untap the Crossroads. So, basically, on the play, this is a tap scry land for any color. On the draw, this is an untapped land of a color of your choice. So, trying to make play draw not as bad, obviously. This card's pretty sweet. The fact that, it's a tap, it's like a half a temple on the play. It just a come to play tap, choose a color, scry 1 is reasonable enough. On the draw, just a freaking, perfect pathway land or whatever for whatever you want is also pretty awesome. My concerns here are like what decks can handle the tap land, but this card's pretty awesome. Downsides here, of course, are it's not a snow land and things like that. But card's kind of cool, honestly. Card's kind of cool. Also important to know it's a mana fixing land too. It's basically a pathway. It just comes in taps if you're on the play. So that's pretty sweet. Card's cool. I don't know, is this a card that goes in every deck? Card that goes in no decks? I don't really know, honestly. It's a pretty weird card. Is it a card you're bored in? Probably not. But is there a deck that wants to start on a draw? I would say no. The payoff here, the point of this card is that like it helps you out a little. If this was like a soul land or something like that and giving you a mana boost on the draw, at that point you can consider it. But the upside here is just a pathway. It's just a land that comes in untapped and you get to choose a color, which is great. So card's pretty cool. I like it. I'm not sure what to do with this card, but it's cool. So that's it. That's all the cards in Alchemy. It's like 63 cards in the main set, 11 cards that were nerfed or buffed. And that's my whole set review. And I'll be doing my 5 new brews tomorrow for this set, which is it's a May ability too, which is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, tomorrow I'll be 5 new brews. I'm building new cards. I'm stoked to play with this set. Again, I'm pretty unhappy with the economy repercussions of this set, which is pretty freaking bad. But the cards look really cool. I'm stoked to play with them. I'm stoked to try a new Alchemy format, try the new rebalanced cards, and see what standard looks like in this kind of like crazy new world, which is sweet. So that's it. YouTube folks, love you. Like, comment, subscribe. Hop on to look at the other videos. Of course, check out the other episodes in this series. Go watch Bronze the Mythic. Check out my 5 new brews tomorrow. My articles on CoolStuffInc.com. Check out Untapped.gg, my sponsors. Check out ColorlessApparel.shop. Check out CoolStuffInc.com. Check out BeastWSupplies.com. Use the promo codes. You're all great. I love you all. Let me know how wrong I am in the comments. Let me know how wrong I am in YouTube chat. Again, this is probably the weirdest set review I've ever done because there's so many weird, strange mechanics that are just not normal things that happen in a game of Magic. So very hard to evaluate. Tomorrow I'll play with the cards and we'll see how they go. But that's it. So YouTube folks, love you. Like, comment, subscribe, and you're all freaking great. Thanks for watching.